Hello you all, I'm BlaqueWitchYaya. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Y'all see the gloves are already on. That means we're going to do a story time. Well, not so much a story time for this video, but a story time is going to be followed up with this video. If it's already posted, I'll have it linked down below. But this is more of an informative video. But while I share this information, I'm going to be making my crystal dry rub that you can purchase from BlaqueWitchYaya.com, which is a dry mix of herbs that you can use on your crystals if you cannot use any liquids, if you don't want to use any liquids. And you could just sprinkle this on your crystals. You could sit it underneath the sun, underneath the moonlight. You could sprinkle some in your jewelry box where you keep your crystals so they can always remain charged even when you are not wearing them. And you could get that from BlaqueWitchYaya.com while supplies last. I'll just say that. So today we're going to talk about mirror magic. Not so much what spells to do with mirror magic, but what in the world is so special about a mirror where it has a whole magical system behind it. I do want to share a quick story. My first observation of mirror magic, or my first inkling that mirrors were just more than a reflection, and this is going to sound childish, but it was while watching Snow White while I was younger. It was like, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Or in my case, it would be mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the chocolatest of them all? And basically, you know, the little witch came up in the mirror and all that. So literally when I was younger, I would talk to the mirror and just like big myself up in the mirror. I would be like, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the freshest on the first day of school? Like just hyping myself up in the mirror. And honestly, that was probably the best thing I could do to build confidence. And you will see why later in this video. It's important to watch what you say about yourself in a mirror. But as I got older, I became more and more aware of all the folklore and superstitions around mirrors, whether it's bad luck to break a mirror, covering mirrors in a home where someone has died, don't put mirrors facing each other. If you have a bad dream, you don't want to look straight into the mirror because you can bring in a spirit that you saw in your dream. All that stuff. We always hear these little superstitions when it comes to mirrors, but today I want to dive a little bit deeper to share all the capabilities and the powers that mirrors have. So you guys, if you don't take nothing else away from this video, one thing to remember and will just guide you throughout all of your mirror magic process: mirrors reflect truth. When you look in the mirror, that's it, that's all, nothing more, nothing less. We could hop on a scale and be like, you know, I must be holding some water weight or whatever, but the mirror going to show you exactly what you look like. Kind of like when you're trying to lose weight and the scale not moving, but you could look in the mirror and see a difference. Mirrors reflect truth, and sometimes we could be our worst critic in the mirror. And this is what I was saying before, that you want to be careful of what you say to yourself in the mirror, because a mirror's main duty is to reflect truth. So if you say hurtful things about yourself in the mirror, if you're always criticizing how you look in the mirror, you're going to stay like that. You're not going to help yourself. That's not going to change anything about you, because the mirror's job is to reflect truth. So if you're looking in the mirror saying, oh, I'm so fat, oh, I'm so ugly, I'm so stupid, why does my hair look like this, da, 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 and you're always going to stay like that, and nothing else is going to change, because you're looking in the mirror and the mirror's going to be like, all right, she said she ugly, so I gotta reflect the truth, bibbity bobbity boo. She's gonna continue to look like that. That's why a lot of people do affirmations in the mirror when they're trying to lose weight, or when they're trying to appreciate themselves more or build confidence. They'll tell themselves, I am so beautiful, my body is amazing, I love my body. And I know some people even try looking in the mirror before they get in the shower. I'm like, girl, that's the best time to try to big yourself up, because the mirror is going to reflect the truth. So even if you may not believe it, you may not think it, you can really convince yourself and build your confidence just by stating your affirmations in the mirror. I'm so beautiful, I love my body is so strong, it carries me throughout the day, I appreciate every curve on my body, I'm in such great shape. Like, just big yourself up like that, and it's basically a form of manifesting as well. So just don't ever say hurtful stuff in general, but especially not in the mirror, because that mirror is going to always reflect the truth. So if you say hurtful things and you believe it to be true, you're always going to look at yourself in that way. So diving deeper into mirrors, mirrors hold every single reflection that has ever passed by it. They hold every memory, every energy that's in it. So if you ever cried to yourself in the mirror, if you ever got so excited one day and you looked in the mirror like, you go girl, whatever you have done, the mirror holds that memory like no matter what. And I honestly feel that mirrors across all the world are connected in some way, because a lot of people use mirrors for divination. So I feel like with the mirrors holding the reflections, holding the memories, reflecting truth, it creates a portal in some way that's connected throughout all the mirrors. That's why many people use it to divinate, because in a way it's a portal. It stores all the memories of anything that was ever reflected in it, therefore creating a connection that can later be read by people who have the talent to divinate. But that's just my opinion, but I find it to be true because it makes sense, right? Yeah, many people use mirrors or anything that has a reflection. A lot of people use black obsidian mirrors for their reflection, for divination or scrying. Also, just one form of mirror magic that is often used in spell work. When people are doing like petitions, they have their candles, they have their little fave, they have any sigil that they're using. They will often implement mirrors because it enhances the power of the spell and enhance the intent as well. So you're doing the spell one time, but when you add on a mirror, it's basically like doing it another time. You add on another mirror, it's like doing it again. It enhances the power and intent by the reflections that's in it. Also, like I said before, with mirrors reflecting truth, it's very good to use it in rituals or spell work, because it's basically saying what is crafting, what is being created is truth, therefore it will be. Along with mirrors reflecting truth, listen y'all, I don't think I ever said this on this channel, but let me just tell you, reading your manifestations while you are looking in the mirror, you might as well get ready for whatever you're talking about, because it's gonna happen. That is that's just the razzle dazzle that is needed for any manifestation. You believe in it, and then you telling yourself in the mirror, and it's going to reflect truth. So what you're saying into the mirror must be because it's truth, and you believe it to be true. If I ain't tell you nothing else, state your manifestations in the mirror. I need to do a video on mirror manifestations, because when I tell you, that thing will start rocking and popping. So we mentioned how mirrors can be a portal, mirrors reflect truth, but let's get more into the reflection part. So if you're anything like me and you're into home decor, you will notice that majority of the homes have some type of mirror in the dining room area. And this may for some people be by coincidence, or maybe some people just feel it makes sense to have it where I eat, right? But having a mirror in your dining room area where you eat and having the reflection of food, the reflection of you eating, can also bring in abundance to the home. Because like if you have an altar where you feed your spirits actual food, having a mirror there as well will also help, just because the reflection of food, the reflection of being fed, will just create more energy within whatever you're doing, whether it's spell work, just having it on your altar, or while you're eating and enjoying food at your dining room table. It'll bring in wealth and abundance to the home. Hence why you see a lot of people who, you know, are balling like that. They'll have like a real grandiose mirror in their dining room area. Brings in abundance, but of course with intent. I'm sure some people have a mirror in their dining room area just because, but if you really have the intent behind it, that this mirror is going to reflect wealth, bring in abundance, it'll happen. Remember, nothing works without intent. So sometimes you may find yourself coincidentally doing something. If you didn't mean it, nothing's going to happen, because everything is based off intent. That's why so many miracles can be worked with a white candle, because it's all what you created to be. So remember, it always has to be intent behind stuff, or it's just a simple coincidence or oopsie, you know? So earlier I mentioned how a lot of superstitions that we learned growing up, or even still believe now, with breaking a mirror. So they say breaking a mirror is bad luck. You'll have bad luck for 7 years. You'll have bad sex for 7 years, which is not true, trust me. But in some cases, you may want to actually break a mirror. If you have toxic energy in your home, you notice that the same things are happening within your home. It's just all around negative energy. No matter how much sage you burn, no matter how many candles you burn, it seems like that energy is still there. With intention, if you break a mirror in that home, it's basically symbolic of breaking the cycle of what's going on. Because like I said, mirrors reflect truth. It holds and store all memories that was ever reflected in it. So if you got people walking around like negative energy, saying negative stuff to themselves while they're in the bathroom, crying and cursing up a storm, you arguing with people, walking by these mirrors, it's all capturing what's going on. Think of mirrors like, you know, there are mirrors and cameras. They're just creating snapshots of what's going on, and it's going to reflect it back into the home, because that's the energy that was presented to it. So if you break a mirror in your home, like I break all cycles, tendencies, or whatever may be going on in that home, and you break that mirror, the cycle is broken. Because you're basically breaking the stride of a boomerang, because whatever is reflected in it is going to be reflected right back out. So that negative energy that has been around it is going to be brought right back into the home. So if you find yourself in that situation where nothing is working, all the cleanses, all the Florida water not working, bust up a mirror and watch what happens. Oh, this smells so good. That's why I keep mashing this lavender and peppermint up, because it just smells so good, and it just works, especially with clear quartz. It works so well. So quick question for you guys. Have you all ever walked by a mirror and for some odd reason you seem to see a reflection of somebody else? Somebody you may not know, a face that looks unfamiliar, maybe someone that gave the mirror to you. Like, have you guys ever seen somebody else's reflection? And I ask that because along with the superstition of don't break a mirror, not having mirrors face each other and all that stuff, there's also a superstition or a saying that goes, you should not buy used mirrors, because all of those people's energy are in that mirror, which goes to what I just said. You shouldn't buy a used mirror and just pop it in your house. If you really want that mirror, cleanse it first, move that energy on it, sit it in the sun and let the sun reflect off of it, sit it in the moon, let the moon reflect off of it, put it in that sun and moon energy so it could go in that portal and just clean up whatever toxic energy was going on. But sometimes, and you guys will hear this in another story, like I said about mirrors, you want to make sure that you do not buy used mirrors and just put it in your home, because you're basically just welcoming any other spirit and energy and those people energy into your home as well. Because like I said, mirrors reflect truth, and it's going to reflect anything that was reflected in it right back out. So you want to make sure that you cleanse them as well. And that goes to mirrors being a portal, because it just stores all those memories, all those snapshots, and you hanging it in your home is just welcoming it right on in. Like, all right, hey y'all could come in, look around, see what you like. And I asked, have you ever seen someone else's reflection? Because if it's not like spirit communicating with you, like trying to get your attention, it could sometimes be the energy of a person who may have looked or utilized that mirror before you. So when you cleanse your home, cleanse over your mirrors too, especially if you're buying a home where like the mirrors are kind of already in the bathroom. Make sure you can see a shadow. And I'm not crazy, because y'all be seeing it too. It was like right here, right? So make sure when you buy a home, and sometimes the mirrors are already in the bathroom, make sure you cleanse them as well. Because especially if it's not like even if it's a specially built home, the construction people reflection was in it. Always cleanse the mirror. You don't know who looked in it while they were building it, what energy they had, what ish they done talked about they boss, or they trying to get a break in the mirror. Just make sure you always cleanse your mirrors, especially in your home. And if you're going to use a mirror inside your home, cleanse the mirrors inside your cars. If you're buying a used car, even if it's a new car, always cleanse your mirrors, because mirrors are portals. So like I said before, mirrors are oftentimes used for divination as well. And most of the time, I never really see an actual mirror, but they use the process of reflection as divination. Like I've seen a lot of people do divination through water, through looking into coffee, the stains in coffee. And I often see a lot of people use black obsidian as a reflection to use divination or scrying as well. I'm wearing a black obsidian now. You can get the jumbo black obsidian from BlaqueWitchYaya.com. Just because the energy that black obsidian has is, y'all, that once you get you a black obsidian, you just feel like you could conquer the world. I just feel like it just makes people feel so protected and so strong, and it really just gives you a lot of insight, which I can see why it is often used for divination, just because of the power it has. And along with that reflection, with someone who's really skilled and know how to divinate and not just doing it for an act, you can really just conjure up and get a lot of information that's useful for whether it's you or the client. All right, but thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Let me know, have you guys ever used mirror magic? Even if it's you just doing your affirmations in the mirror, or just, you know, encouraging yourself in the mirror if you're having a bad day. Let me know down below what experience you have with mirror magic. And I have a story coming up about how Mirror magic can go wrong if the wrong mirror is used. I'll let you guys know that a little bit later. But let me know, like, what spells have you done? Do you utilize it in spell work? Do you utilize it to charge your crystals? You sit your crystals on the mirror, then sit it out in the sun. That's a good one. That's really, really powerful. I love to use those for like rose quartz chargings or citrine. I love using it for that, especially with citrine since it's already heat treated. Okay, now I'm going into crystals. Let me know down below your experience with mirror magic. And like I always say, as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. Until next time, you guys, Ashe, baby.